Hello everyone, my name is Caden Herring and I'm a consultant at Encryption Consulting. Encryption Consulting covers all the aspects of data protection landscape such as encryption, data security, key management, and privacy, and we help clients in understanding this information. Today we're going to be talking about SSL/TLS certificates, the differences between them, and what they're used for. So SSL stands for Secure Socket Layer, and sometimes it's referred to as SSL or TLS. Sometimes people interchange the two. They're basically one and the same, and I'll explain in a little bit. But it stands for Secure Socket Layer. It's the technology for internet secure connections, safeguarding data between two systems that are talking to each other over the internet. So for example, right here, two systems can be server to client, like a shopping website and a browser making connections through SSL. So that's one example. And then for server to server, say you have an application that is sending PII or payroll information to another system. So that would be server to server. And then TLS, I talked about this before, but it's basically an updated and more secure version of SSL. It's basically the cryptographic standard protocol that is being transitioned to now. I believe 1.2 is the most advanced version that's out. And it has a little bit of information on their specific certificates, such as the information about the subject domain name or any other domain names it has, issuing and expiration dates, public keys, and its digital signature. So a little bit about the actual process behind the SSL Handshake, which is it making the connection. It can be broken down into 5 steps. So first we start with the client hello, which is where the client starts the communication with the server using the SSL. Which includes this information like the version number, cipher settings, and session-specific data. Next, the server responds with a server hello message, which includes some more information about itself. And then step 3 is the authentication. This is where the client verifies the server certificate from the corresponding CA and authenticates the connection. And if it fails, then the client refuses the connection and throws an exception. Basically, when you're connecting to a website and you get that page that comes up before the website loads saying that the server connection isn't secure, that's the type of thing that happens. And then number 4, we got decryption. So this is where the client creates the session key and encrypts it with the server's public key and then sends it to the server. And if the server has requested any client authentication, which is usually server-to-server communication, then the client sends their own certificate to the server. And then for step 5, we got encryption with the session key. So this is when the server decrypts the session key with its private key and then sends its acknowledgement that it's done that to the client, which is also encrypted with the session key. And so at the end of the handshake, both the client and the server have a valid session key that they'll use to encrypt or decrypt any original data they're about to send. There's also multiple types of SSL certificates that are available based on the validation level and the number of domains that they secure. These differing types are tuned for different use cases, such as domain validated certificates. This is where the lowest level of validation occurs because generally the main purpose of a domain validated certificate is communication in one domain through their web server and browser or whatever they have. And to verify the domain control. That's the main way that they use these certificates. And then for another example, organization validated certificate. This has a medium level validation where the CA checks the rights of an organization. Therefore, the organization validated certificate can enhance the trust level of an organization with its domain. There's a few others here that are generally used for different use cases, but you can pause and read about it. So how would you find out if your website has a valid SSL certificate? It's actually really easy. We have a picture example here, a few visual cues. So at the top of your web browser, the lock icon that's next to the URL, if you click on it, you can get the certificate information. You can see where it was issued, what it's valid from, as in the time that it's valid, and different details about it too. Any trust seals the website has, HTTP secure as opposed to just regular HTTP, and then a green address bar. So sometimes on your address bar that'll be a green extension right here in front of the lock, sometimes especially when using an extended validation certificate, and it'll show you that the connection is secure. You could click on it and it shows you some other general information about the certificate. And then right here we have a table of some major differences between SSL and TLS to clear it up. So the biggest difference between SSL and TLS is the amount of cipher suites that are available for TLS. As you can see, it goes through RC4, Triple DES, AES, IDEA, and etc. And SSL, it offers support for Forteza, but that's about it. So TLS is more robust in that sense. Here are the corresponding versions as well. SSL and TLS have both been updated, but as you can see, SSL has been pretty much depreciated since the vulnerabilities have been discovered in it. And also TLS 1.0 to 1.1 have also been depreciated because of some vulnerabilities that were discovered. So that's TLS 1.2 is the most widely employed version. Alright, and then for some more in-depth application instructions regarding SSL certificates and how to implement them, our website has an education center that has more detailed information about the practical steps of the general SSL certificate management, so you can follow this link. It'll be in the description, and you can take a look for yourself. Alright, and that's going to wrap up the video. We'll come up with some more interesting and useful cryptographic content soon in the next video, and if your organization is looking for more implementation of SSL certificate management, you can contact us at info@encryptionconsulting.com for further information.